Hi there. I just wanted to find out, what's the best way of letting churches and church leadership know that apologetics, rather than introducing doubt to new believers, is something that can
This
boost
is
their
a
confidence?
very good question. Let me say what I think is the wrong approach. The wrong approach is to go to your pastor and demand that he begin to offer apologetics and get involved and so forth. Your pastor is so busy and so harried that the last thing in the world he needs is another responsibility to take on. He won't do it. Instead, what you do is you volunteer as a layman to say, Pastor, I'd like to teach a Sunday school class or an evening Bible study or something of that sort in dealing with answering tough objections to Christianity, or I'd like to do a book study and take people through On Guard. Would you give me your sanction to do that? And I'll tell you, your pastor will fall down and call you blessed, because he wants volunteers. He wants lay people to take the leadership and take some of the burden off his shoulders. And that's what I've done in our home church where Jan and I attend. I just began teaching this class called Defenders on apologetics, and over the years it's just grown and grown, and we have now a very large class meeting in our church where people come to hear the Christian doctrine and apologetics taught. And what's fun is that people will even come from other churches. From the Catholic Church, the Methodist Church, they'll go to services there to worship. Then they'll come over to our church to go to this Sunday Bible class in Defenders and hear doctrine and apologetics, because there's nobody at their churches that are teaching these kind of things. So I would encourage you as a layperson to take the lead on these issues and network with other interested persons and begin to do this kind of thing yourself. And I think that's the best way to introduce this into the local church context.
Cool. I suppose the fear, or not the fear, but the concern is making sure that churches, or some churches, see the importance of it, rather than something that could lead people down a wrong path or cause people to start worrying or doubting based on the difficult objections they come into, or difficult concepts
I
they
think
encounter.
what you might do is talk to the pastor when you go in and share with him some of the stats that I think Gary Habermas mentioned about the number of Christian students who lose their faith when they go off to university and become unbelievers, and the statistics about how the church is being devastated by the loss of its youth, and that apologetics can be one of the means of sustaining faith in our teenage and 20-something age group. And maybe if you think he won't be convinced, bring one such person with you. Bring somebody along who, say, had lost his faith and has now come back to Christ through the study of apologetics. I just thought of another way you could do this. Say you don't feel qualified to teach such a class. On our website at reasonablefaith.org, these Defenders classes that I described, they're all podcast. So you can just download these and then listen to them together, and then have a class discussion afterwards. You don't even need to teach the class. I'll teach it for you. You have a discussion, and people are already doing this. We get emails from people in Germany and other places around the world. They say, we loved listening to Defenders class. And we even have our own class where we just listen to this material. And they said, we feel like we're part of the class. We feel like we know Cindy and Steve and Robert and these other people who ask questions, because the class discussion is all included.